Most women think being blessed by God means life becomes easy, but the truth is darker, deeper, and harder to accept. A woman blessed by God is often the woman who has been attacked the most, tested the most, misunderstood the most, and still somehow refuses to become bitter. She loses people but gains peace. She gets rejected but gets protected. She walks through pain but comes out with a glow that cannot be explained. And if these 7 signs are happening in your life, then you are not unlucky. You are being prepared, protected, and chosen in a way most people will never understand. The woman who is blessed by God does not need to announce herself. Her presence already speaks before her mouth opens. You can place her in a room full of noise, jealousy, pressure, gossip, temptation, and confusion, and still something inside her will remain untouched. Not because her life is easy, not because she never cries, not because she has never been betrayed, abandoned, misunderstood, or forced to carry pain silently. She is blessed because even after everything that tried to break her, she did not become bitter. She became deeper. She became wiser. She became more aware of who walks with her when nobody else stays. Listen carefully, because many women think being blessed means everything must look perfect from the outside. They think it means a soft life, easy love, endless money, a peaceful home, people clapping for them, doors opening without resistance. But sometimes the woman most blessed by God is the one who has survived battles nobody saw. She smiles, but her smile has history. She gives, but her giving has scars behind it. She prays, but her prayers have tears inside them. She walks calmly, but she has already passed through storms that would have changed the character of weaker souls. The first sign is that you keep being protected from what you thought you wanted. At the time, you called it rejection, you called it delay, you called it unfair. You asked why the door closed, why the person left, why the plan collapsed, why the answer did not come when your heart was begging for it. But later, when your eyes became clearer, you understood that the door was not closed to punish you. It was closed to protect you from entering a place where your spirit would have been slowly destroyed. A blessed woman is not always given what she asks for. She is often saved from what her wounded heart was ready to accept. There is a difference. When you are lonely, you may ask for any kind of attention. When you are tired, you may ask for any kind of help. When you feel unseen, you may accept anyone who gives you a little warmth. But God does not bless you by feeding every weakness. Sometimes He blesses you by removing the thing your weakness was reaching for. This is why you lost certain people and later realized your peace returned. This is why you were denied certain opportunities and later discovered they were carrying hidden poison. This is why some relationships became uncomfortable, some friendships became distant, some plans fell apart, and some dreams were delayed. You were not being forgotten. You were being redirected. But the mind is impatient. The mind wants proof today. The mind says, if I am blessed, why am I waiting? If I am loved by God, why am I hurting? If I am protected, why did I lose what I cared about? The mind looks at one broken piece and thinks the whole picture is broken. But the soul sees differently. The soul knows that protection often feels like disappointment before it reveals itself as mercy. Do not measure blessing only by what arrives. Measure it also by what leaves. Some departures are answers. Some endings are rescue. Some silences are shields. Some delays are divine timing, refusing to let you settle in a place too small for who you are becoming. The second sign is that your heart remains soft, even though life gave you many reasons to become hard. This is not weakness, this is spiritual strength. Anyone can become cold after being hurt. Anyone can close their heart and say, I trust no one. I feel nothing. I care for nobody. That is not power. That is injury pretending to be wisdom. A woman blessed by God may become more careful, but she does not become cruel. She may become more silent, but she does not become empty. She may stop explaining herself to people who enjoy misunderstanding her, but she does not lose her kindness. Her softness becomes disciplined. Her love becomes wiser. Her boundaries become stronger. She learns that compassion does not mean allowing people to walk through her soul with dirty feet. This is a rare sign. Many people lose their tenderness because they gave it to the wrong hands. They were honest with dishonest people, loyal to disloyal people, gentle with people who only respected force. And after enough pain, they believe the answer is to become like those who hurt them. But the blessed woman is different. She learns from pain without becoming pain. She understands that a pure heart must still have a gate. A garden without a fence will be destroyed by anything passing by. So she learns to say no without guilt. She learns to stop over-explaining. She learns that peace is also a form of obedience. She learns that not every person deserves access to her energy, her time, her story, or her tears. But inside, the heart remains alive. She can still look at a child and feel tenderness. She can still see someone suffering and feel compassion. She can still forgive, even when she chooses not to reconnect. She can still pray for someone she no longer allows near her. This is blessing. Not the absence of wounds, but the refusal to let wounds become your identity. The third sign is that you are being shaped through solitude. Many women fear being alone because they think loneliness means they are unwanted. But solitude is often the place where God removes the noise that has been controlling you. When too many voices surround you, it becomes difficult to hear the quiet voice inside. You begin to live according to other people's expectations. You dress for approval. You speak for acceptance. You stay in places that drain you because you fear being judged for leaving. You keep friendships that no longer feed your spirit because you do not want to look lonely. Then suddenly, life becomes quiet. People leave. Messages slow down. Invitations disappear. You find yourself sitting with your own thoughts. At first, it feels uncomfortable. You reach for distraction. You check your phone. You wonder who is thinking about you. You compare your life to others. You ask why everyone seems surrounded while you are being separated. But separation is not always punishment. Sometimes it is preparation. A seed cannot grow if it refuses to be buried in the dark soil. A woman cannot discover her true strength if she is always surrounded by people who tell her who she should be. Solitude teaches you your own sound. It shows you which parts of you were real and which parts were created to survive other people's opinions. A blessed woman is often pulled away from crowds before she is lifted into purpose. She may lose interest in certain conversations. She may no longer enjoy places that once excited her. She may feel tired around people who only discuss gossip, drama, appearance, and comparison. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. Her soul is changing diet. What once entertained her now irritates her because her spirit is asking for something cleaner. When God blesses a woman, He does not only give her more, He removes her appetite for less. That is why your loneliness may actually be your training ground. In silence, you learn discipline. In quiet, you learn prayer. In distance, you learn discernment. In the absence of applause, you learn whether your path is real. Do not rush to fill every empty space. Empty space is where renewal enters. Empty space is where false attachments lose power. Empty space is where you stop begging to be chosen and begin choosing what honors your soul. The fourth sign is that your intuition becomes sharper. You may not always be able to explain it, but you feel when something is wrong. You sense when a smile is not sincere. You notice when words sound beautiful, but energy feels heavy. You can tell when someone is using kindness as a mask, when attention is a trap, when an apology has no real change behind it. A blessed woman is not paranoid. She is awake. There is a difference. Paranoia sees danger everywhere because it is ruled by fear. Discernment sees truth beneath appearance because it is guided by wisdom. When your spirit becomes clean, you become harder to deceive. You stop being impressed by loud promises. You stop ignoring red flags just because someone knows how to speak softly. You stop confusing chemistry with compatibility. You stop calling inconsistency love. This sharpness did not come cheaply. It came from lessons. It came from moments when you ignored your inner warning and paid the price. It came from trusting someone your spirit had already questioned. It came from staying too long in places where your peace kept disappearing. Pain taught you the language of energy. God used experience to sharpen your sight. Now you do not need to argue with every feeling. You observe, you wait, you listen. You watch behavior more than words. You pay attention to how people treat those they do not need. You notice whether their humility is real or only performed. You stop being seduced by potential and start respecting patterns. This is a powerful sign, but it comes with responsibility. When your intuition speaks, do not keep asking for louder proof. Many women destroy themselves by demanding evidence after the spirit has already warned them. They say, maybe I am overthinking. Maybe I am being too sensitive. Maybe I should give one more chance. And sometimes one more chance becomes one more wound. A blessed woman learns the difference between fear from the past and guidance from God. Fear makes you shrink from everything. Guidance gives you calm clarity.